Hi, everybody. Welcome again to Ivy English. I'm Bruce.
I'm Angela.
And I'm Wesley.
Well, a couple of weeks ago, I warned you that we would be back again this month, and here we are, September 29th, with an article for you called Climbing Up to Jiaming Lake.
我们的中文标题天使的眼泪嘉明湖
Hikers on the Jiaming Lake Trail in Taiwan's Central Mountain Range are rewarded with a rare sight high in the mountains. As the name suggests, the main feature of this hike is the stunning Jiaming Lake, one of the largest alpine lakes on the island. Though it is primarily referred to as Jiaming or Jiaming Lake, this lake has many other names. In the Aboriginal Bunun language, the name of the lake translates as Mirror of the Moon. Other descriptors include Angel's Teardrop or God's Lost Sapphire. The picturesque mountain lake lies just below Shangyang Mountain, 3,310 meters above sea level. It was previously thought that the lake was created by a meteor 3,000 years ago, but, in fact, its origins are much, much older. The lake was formed by glacial erosion thousands of years earlier, roughly during the last ice age. Jiaming Lake isn't the only feature you will see on the hike. It is recommended that visitors stretch their hike over 3 days to better adapt to the high elevation. 3 days is also plenty of time to check out the surrounding environment. In addition to birds and little mountain critters, you might spot some deer. You can take a slight detour during the first day to Blackwater Pond, a mountain lake tucked away in the woods. One part of the trek goes by the Shangyang Mountain Landslide, which is an 800-meter wall of exposed rock on the southwest face of the mountain. With so much to see, you'll be happy to take your time on this hike.
Hikers on the Jiaming Lake Trail in Taiwan's Central Mountain Range are given the gift of a rare sight high in the mountains. They get to see something or experience something that is very unusual. Now, sight, S-I-T-E, means a place, so you get to experience a rare place in the mountains. It's not that you're seeing something, S-I-G-H-T.
所以 sight S-I-T-E 跟 S-I-G-H-T 这两个字声音一样，那这里是指 sight S-I-T-E 一个地点，所以 a rare sight 就是一个很少见的一个好的地点。那我们再回来看这个句子一开头，他说 hikers 爬山者那在哪里爬山呢 ？on 告诉你在 the Jiaming Lake Trail 就是嘉明湖步道，这是在台湾的 Central Mountain Range 台湾的中央山脉的嘉明湖步道在这里爬山的人呢 are rewarded with to be rewarded with something 就得到什么的回报，所以你到这边来爬山很辛苦很累，但是你得到的回报是有一个 a rare sight 你有一个很少见的地点是 high in the mountains 是高高的在山上，也在高山上一个很少见的地点。
As the name suggests, the main feature of this hike is the stunning Jiaming Lake, one of the largest alpine lakes on the island. Well, the name of the Jiaming Lake Trail is the main feature, is the most important part or the most famous part of the hike. If you're in the Central Mountain Range and you choose to go on this trail, a trail is a hiking path. But if you say trail, we expect it's larger than a footpath. Many people have used it probably for a long time. And the main feature of taking or choosing that trail is the Jiaming Lake, which is stunning. It is spectacular. It is breathtaking. And it's one of the largest alpine lakes on the island. Remember that the Central Mountain Range occupies at least half, some people say 60-70% of the land area of Taiwan. So if you see a map without any colors except natural colors and just natural features with no words on it. Taiwan Island stands out because of this very, very large mountain range, very tall mountain range on a relatively small island. We have the highest mountains east of the Himalayas in Asia.
好，所以台湾的地形很特殊啊，在这么小的面积上有这么多的高山啊，而且事实上这个喜马拉雅山往东啊，台湾有最高的一座山啊，所以这是很特别的一种地理景观。好，我们看这个句子，他说 As the name suggests， 正如这个名字所显示的，所告诉我们的 The main feature of this hike， feature 就是特色啊，这个 hike 在这里指的是 trail 啊，这一段这个步道主要的特色是什么呢？是这个 stunning 就 strikingly beautiful 啊 or attractive。那所以这一段步道主要的特色就是这个美的让人叹为观止的嘉明湖。然后呢，童伟格告诉你，嘉明湖是 one of the largest alpine lakes on the island 啊。那 alpine 这个字呢，就是高山的，因为 alp 就是指 high mountain 啊。那加个 ine 变成了形容词，所以嘉明湖呢是这个岛，也就是台湾这个岛上呢最大的高山湖之一。
Though it is primarily or mostly referred to as Jiaming or Jiaming Lake, this lake has many other names.
好，那虽然呢 it is primarily 就是主要 referred to 被称为啊，所以虽然这个湖主要被称为啊，那嘉明呢它只有两种拼法啊，一个是汉语拼音啊，或接近汉语拼音的就是 JIA 啊 MING， 那另外一种呢应该是 Weijiao's 的拼音啊 CHIAMING 啊，但在英文里面念的时候，其实你可以直接都把它念成嘉明啊，你不用在那里装的怪腔怪调，嘉明 or charming 啊，不需要啊，就直接就嘉明就好了。这个是这个 Karen 老师也曾经跟我们讲过，就是这种时候通常就直接按国语发音出来就好了。
Right, because these spellings are meant to represent the original pronunciation in Mandarin.
啊，因为英文不管它怎么拼呢，它目的都是要表示原来在中文里面的那个发音，好，所以你不用从英文去念的怪腔怪调，你直接就中文把它讲得清清楚楚就可以了啊。所以主要大家称它为嘉明湖啊。那这个湖呢 ，this lake 好 has many other names， 有很多其他的名字。
In the Aboriginal Bunun language, the name of the lake translates as...So here's another language. Bunun is one of our Aboriginal languages here in Taiwan. For them, they use their own name, which we don't have here for you, but we have the translation of it from their language, the idea into the English idea based on their name. Oh, I love this. Mirror of the moon. How romantic can you get?
Yeah, 这个像月亮一样的镜子啊，所以中文叫做月亮的镜子。所以在这个 Aboriginal 就是原住民的布农语言里面，布农族的语言里面呢，这个湖啊，它the name of the lake translates as 就是翻成英文是什么的意思啊 translates as 翻成英文就是 mirror of the moon 就是月亮的镜子。
Other descriptors, other ways to say it include angel's teardrop, so one teardrop from an angel, or God's lost sapphire. A sapphire is a blue jewel.
好，所以 sapphire 就是蓝宝石，好，所以 other descriptor 是一个描述词，好 ，a word or expression 哈 used to describe or identify something， 所以就是一个描述词啊。其他的描述词包括什么呢 ？Angel's teardrop 就是天使的眼泪啊，或者是 God's 上帝的 lost 遗落的一个 sapphire 蓝宝石，上帝遗落的蓝宝石，这些名字都很美。
Our next paragraph.The picturesque mountain lake lies just below Shangyang Mountain, 3,310 meters above sea level. Now, picturesque is similar to that stunning, on line 3 here, the stunning Jiaming Lake. Picturesque means beautiful, and especially if it is about natural beauty, the countryside. And the lake is, of course, below the top of a mountain, and this mountain is Shangyang Mountain, which is, now you have two ways to say this, 3,310 or 3,310 meters above sea level, above the sea.
好，所以呢，这个 picturesque 就是如诗如画的，通常是用来讲景物哈，山中湖泊，好，如诗如画的山中湖泊 ，mountain lake， 好 ，lies 位于啊，它位于哪里呢 ？Just below， 就刚刚就在怎么样三叉山底下啊，那高度是3310公尺啊 ，above sea level 就是海拔的意思，在海面上，也就是海拔3310公尺。
It was previously thought that the lake was created by a meteor 3,000 years ago, which, it's a dip in the ground, and large dips in the ground are often created by meteors, so that would make sense. But in fact, its origins are much, much older.
好 ，it was previously thought that 就是这个 it 就是指 that 的这个子句，好，所以 previously thought 先前大家都认为 the lake was created by 是由什么所造成的呢？是由一个 meteor 一个陨石啊，而且大概是3000年以前的一个陨石所造成的。但是呢 ，in fact 事实上 its origins 就是这个山的起源 are much much older 啊，要比这个3000年老很多。
Okay, a bit of astronomy here. Meteor is 口语. This should be meteorite. We add ite at the end of the word. The difference is a meteor is something we see in the sky, a piece of rock or dust or ice that burns up completely in the atmosphere and leaves that beautiful streak of lightning in the night sky. If it's big enough to hit the earth, then we add ite, which is a common ending for minerals or rocks. So a meteorite you can pick up with your hand and admire it, but not right after it's fallen because it will be very, very hot.
It'll burn your hand right off.
Right, absolutely. Anyway, but a lot of people use meteor instead of meteorite. It's 口语的用法. There's nothing wrong with it, but if you want to be official, then add ite.
好，所以这个有差别哈。The meteorite 跟 meteor 其实不太一样。Meteorite 是比较大的陨石，它经过大气层之后没有被烧掉哈，所以还有一些这个大小不同的这个残骸。那 meteor 在正式的说法，它其实是指它会在大气层里面整个烧掉的那个叫做 meteor 啊。那但是现在很多人在用的时候没有这样区分啊，在口语上面直接用 meteor， 但其实他们指的是这个 meteorite。像这个地方呢，他说 meteor 其实应该是 meteorite， 因为它如果说在大气层里面烧掉的话，它就不会在地面造成一个坑或者一个湖，所以它应该是这个一个陨石穿过大气层之后还有相当大的体积，所以它才会造成这样的一个凹啊，后来可能成为一个湖。
The lake was formed by glacial erosion thousands of years earlier, roughly during the last ice age. So here we are now talking about geology, how the Earth was formed, what we see on the surface of this planet. Glacial is the adjective of glacier, Glacier. A glacier is a very large and heavy, broad river of ice, basically, and is found in mountainous regions. Erosion is the breaking up and wearing away of the surface of something. In this case, the surface of the Earth. When it's covered with an ice sheet during an ice age, they're very heavy and they move, so they grind the original surface down. But the last ice age was much earlier than 3,000 years ago, more like 10,000, 12,000 years ago.
好，所以这个湖呢 was formed by 由什么所形成呢？是由 glacial erosion， 就是冰河的侵蚀哈。那 glacial 这个是形容词，它的名词冰河是 glacier 哈，这 Glacier。 然后呢，这是多少年前的事情呢？是 thousands of years earlier 啊，是更早几千年的时候发生的事情。那更早几千年是什么时候呢？ Roughly 大约是 during the last ice age， 大约是上一个冰河时期的时候的事情。
Now, Jiaming Lake isn't the only feature you will see on the hike. It's not like you're just hiking to the lake and back and everything else is blah. Meh.
啊，所以呢，这个嘉明湖呢，并不是你会在这个登山路径上面看到的唯一的 feature， 唯一的特色。
This is one of those cases where the journey is at least as interesting as the destination.
没错哈，这个情况就是，这一路看到的东西至少会跟你的目的地是一样的有趣的。
It is recommended that visitors stretch their hike over 3 days to better adapt to the high elevation. I wish someone had told me this 20 years ago or so. I was in Austria visiting relatives, and we went from maybe 500-600 meter elevation up into the mountains 2,000. And after 20 minutes, I was shaking, I was short of breath, and they knew that I was having high-altitude sickness. For me, here in Taiwan, we are at sea level almost all the time. And then suddenly at 2,000 meters, most people, your body needs time to adapt. And so if you're going to climb up to mountains, you should do it in stages, one day by one day, to give your body time to adjust. I recommend this too, not only the writer of this. So stretch their hike in time means don't try to go from the bottom of the mountain. How fast can I go to the top? Few people would be able to do that without getting sick.
好，所以 it is recommended that 就这件事情是被我们建议的，我们建议如何如何。这个 it 其实就是指 that 那个子句。好，我们建议怎样呢？ Visitors 要来这里的人呢 ，stretch their hike， stretch 就 extend 延伸他们的这个行程啊 ，over 3 days 啊，延伸到3天，这样的可以怎样呢？目的是 to better adapt to better 是修饰那个 adapt to， 你可以比较好的适应啊。Adapt 就是适应的意思啊，就 you become adjusted to new conditions 啊，就是 to make suitable for 啊，所以你适应比较好，你可以比较好的适应这个 high elevation 这个比较高的高度 elevation 就是这个高度，尤其是指这个海拔的高度啊。那刚刚那个 Bruce 讲说他大概20年前有一个经验哈，这个到去探访亲戚，结果去登到一个大概2000公尺高的这个山的时候呢，突然间身体就很不舒服，就有高山症啊。所以其实人体是需要时间来适应不同的高度，尤其是你不习惯的高度。
3 days is also plenty of time to check out the surrounding environment, to check out all the things that are around there.
3天也是 plenty of time， 有足够的时间来 check out， 就是 look at 看一看啊 ，the surrounding environment 这个周围的环境啊，你可以好好的欣赏。
In addition to birds and little mountain critters, you might spot some deer. Well, deer are not exactly a little mountain critter. Critter is old American English for creature, meaning animal. And mountain animals, little ones, well, you would see some mice and squirrels, maybe rabbits, a badger, whatever we have here. Oh, and monkeys, don't forget, in Taiwan in the mountains. We have monkey troops. I've seen those before here, even in Jiaming National Park.
Wow. 好，所以呢 in addition to 除了 birds 鸟啊，还有呢 little 小的 mountain critters 这个字呢是美式英语哈，它其实就是 a living creature 的意思，就是 an animal 的意思。好，所以你可以看到鸟，可以看到小动物哈，山上的一些小动物。好，除了这些之外呢 you might 你也有可能会 spot 可以看到 some 一些 deer 哈 deer 就是鹿啊，那注意 deer 这个字单复数同形啊，你不要讲 deer 不可以加 s 的，它单复数长得一样。
You can also take a slight detour during the first day to Blackwater Pond. This is another mountain lake tucked away in the woods. If something is tucked away in something, it's a little bit more inside. It's a little bit harder to get too. It's not like right there on the top of your bag. It's tucked away in a corner of your bag. It's tucked away in the woods.
It's like
it's almost hidden.
Yeah, you put or keep something in a hidden place. Usually it's a secured or comfortable place. 那是 tucked away 所以就是被隐藏在你某个地方被保护的那种感觉。所以我们看这个句，他说你可以怎么样 take a slight detour， 你可以稍微绕个路。detour 就是take a long or roundabout route， 就是去绕一下路。所以呢，你可以这个绕一下路。稍微绕一下路during the first day 第一天稍微绕一下路，绕去哪里呢？去这个 Blackwater Pond 黑水塘那这是什么东西呢？一个同学可以告诉你，它是一个 mountain lake， 它是一个高山的湖 tucked away， 但是它是被隐藏在 the woods， 隐藏在森林里面，所以它等于说好像藏在森林里面那种感觉你可以去那里看看，风景应该很美。
One part of the trek goes by the Shangyang Mountain Landslide. So there are many things to see on this trail, and you would go by another mountain called Xiaoyong Mountain, which has what we call on a face of the mountain, on a side of the mountain, maybe because of an earthquake. There are other reasons this could happen, but Taiwan has plenty of earthquakes, and some of them quite large. A whole side of a mountain can collapse, and this happens in Taiwan, unfortunately, regularly, not often, but we often see it. And it will expose or show the rock that the mountain is made of, because the soil, the trees, other plant life have all fallen down, so to speak, the mountain. They have collapsed down to the mountain, and you see only the original rock surface of the mountain. And that's 800 meters wide, pretty big. So it must have been a huge event that caused this to happen. Glad I wasn't there.
好，所以 one part of the trek， 这个 trek 在这里指的也是那个 trail 那 trek它本身通常是指 a slow or difficult journey 所以是很艰苦的，而且缓慢的一个旅程。通常我们这种时候才会叫它叫 trek， 但在这里这个 trek 它指的是这个 trail， 当然它也有点含义，就是这个可能不是那么好走所以 one part of the trek 这个路径的一部分呢 goes by 会经过象阳山的这个 landslide 它本来就是一个土石流或者是一个这个山崩的意思没有到土石流这山崩 landslide 那这个山崩呢，它是一个800公尺的 wall， 就是一个山壁，800公尺的山壁然后呢这个山壁怎么样？上面有 exposed rock， 就是裸露的岩石那这个是在怎么样？是在这个山的西南面，所以那个景观也是非常的特别那也很大的一片裸露的岩石，而且是斜坡。
So with so much to see on this hike, you'll be happy to take your time on this hike. You'll be happy to take your time spending the 3 days to get to Jiaming Lake. Jiaming Lake may be your destination, but there's so much more along the way.
Yeah, 好，所以 with so much to see 有这么多东西可以看with 是个附带状况在有这么多东西可以看的状态之下呢 you will be happy to 这个你应该会很高兴，可以 take your time 就是慢慢来，这个是很有用的一个句子很短的句子很有用 take your time 别人在这个很忙或者很急着要干嘛的时候，你可以跟他讲说慢慢来 take your time 就可以了然后呢在这里 take your time on this hike， 所以大家可以学到 take your time on something， 就这件事情上面呢你可以慢慢来。
Okay, that's it for today's lesson. I'm going to plan to visit Jiaming Lake.
Me too.
I never heard of it, but it sounds like a great long weekend or even a whole week to enjoy more of Taiwan's natural beauty. Well, until we meet